Okay.
Good morning. Welcome to the Fire Committee meeting for March 10th, 2026. We shall call the meeting to order. Are there any declaration of pecuniary interests?
None known.
We can move on to the circulation of the prior meeting's minutes. Were there any questions about those minutes?
None.
Okay, then we can move on to the ongoing tasks carried forward from the previous meeting.
I don't think there was anything on there specific to the fire department
Nope.
this month, so. Just circulated for information's sake.
Okay, fantastic. Then we can move along to the Fire Hall Joint Health and Safety Committee inspection sheets. Has everyone had a chance to review those?
Yeah.
And there were any questions? Everything looks
Good.
good. All right. Thank you. We can move along to new business, the fire monthly report for February 2026.
Oh, do you? All right, so. We've had one more volunteer left the department, so currently we're down to 26 available responders. We had our previous month's training outlined there. We focused on ropes and knots, rope systems, and packaging patients, utilizing some of the equipment that we have. We also did our annual FCDA fit testing for the masks for all our members. So got that done. That's done by a third party. They can then do that. Ensures that everybody has good seals on their masks if their body compositions change at all, and want to make sure that the masks are fitting properly. Quiet month for calls. So that's 2 months on the road. Don't know why the trend, but it's been quieter than usual.
Knock on wood.
Community relations, so Special Olympics polar plunge. So I've got some more to talk about on closing comments on that. And then we're working with Bridgeview School on a project, and I'll talk a little bit about that in closing comments. Fire inspections, we completed a fire inspection at the Village Inn. It's done an ownership change. So the documentation of the deficiencies have been sent out to them, and we've been in contact with them a few times regarding their deficiencies. Upcoming inspection on one of the food trucks. So the food trucks, they'll be gearing up here shortly, so they'll be all calling for the inspections. This gentleman here's got us booked already. And then we've been over to CAS, talking about an upcoming inspection for them, and we've been talking to them about some fire safety planning, documentation, and getting their fire safety plan up to speed, so that's good. EM stuff, I'll let Claudio speak on his EM stuff.
So the monthly basis EM committee meeting happened at the base's office, as well as the quarterly county EMC meeting. We had a presentation from someone that represents Municipal 511, which is the cloud-based software that kind of mirrors Ontario 511. So we have access to it through the county. Mike does, we do. We can put road closures on there. We can put detours, temporary, or whatever, but it does not translate to Google Maps. So to do that, it has to go through the Ontario 501, which is a different system, and there's a whole process for that. But if someone were to look on the Municipal 501, they would see that the road closed, the water main break. Why it doesn't translate, I don't know. I guess it's concern of having municipalities able to manipulate Google Maps on a global level. So, but it was a good presentation, and there's lots we can do in there internally with that software.
So, Claudia, it's just anything that's of an emergency nature.
Doesn't
That's
be-
not like a 911 call.
No, it's more like road closure, like so the water main breakdown.
Yeah,
for
okay.
example, Mike put it on there that from
Okay,
whatever the streets
Yeah.
where that road's closed and there's a detour.
okay,
So we can put it on there and we put for 7 days and then it comes off.
Okay,
But it doesn't really help because if you're using your GPS and using Google Maps, it doesn't
Doesn't-
show up on there. So
Oh.
you have to look on the municipal 501 to find it. So it's,
Is there another way to have it show up on Google Maps other than using municipal 51 or the Ontario 511?
PR, like, it's
Okay.
steps above, so it's
Mhm.
not really. Yeah, so Jay was gonna look into it more to see why, or if we can escalate things and make it show up on Google Maps, but for now it doesn't. But we do have access to it and we have been using it, like Mike's used it a
Yeah.
few times for water main breaks.
Jim, could you put that on follow tasks? I think that that would be very, very useful for us, should we need it, if we can find a way. Because people do use that often, and
Yeah.
especially in terms of tourism. If they're not from the area,
Exactly.
they're using that to get around,
Yeah.
and they expect if there's a road closure that it would detour them
Yeah, if you're
automatically.
transient, you don't know the area, you're religiously following Google Maps, like you're.
Yeah.
Whatever it tells you to do, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can somehow get it over there, but. Yeah, we can look into it and see what else we can find there.
Thank you.
There's already been a few meetings planning EP Day this year, which is the week of May 3rd, I think it is. It's at Lambton College again, Basis is kind of spearheading it. But I've been participating, we've been helping with the planning part of it, so. Last year was the first year at Lambton versus where it used to be at Clearwater, so. They had pretty good results last year, and we continue doing that at Lambton College. Discussions on the SADS exercise, so it is booked as June 4th. Thursday, I think it is. It'll be in the village, we're hosting it, we'll be using community hall as the observation center. The hope is to have drones over the site, transmitting the screens in the community hall, all that cool stuff, so. Lots to come for that still, but it's gonna be in Point Edward, so we are the host community this year, which is nice. And I've been teasing this HIRA review for a little while now. So EMO is supposed to be putting out a tool. I don't know if you guys remember, years ago, we did the whole thing, we sat down for way too long, went through every single category.
Yeah.
Use the tools
Ranking.
for it. So they have a new one coming out. Since last year it's coming out, so I contacted our field officer, he said this spring, summer, it will be released. So as soon as it's released, we'll have a meeting, we'll sit down, we'll do that exercise again, so I'm just waiting for them to.
Okay.
Give us that new tool, we can use the old one. But they've added 11 new categories, so we have to go back and do it again, so it's like, might as well wait and do it properly once, then twice.
What is this tool for?
So the HIRA is like the hazard identification.
Okay.
They assess the risks for each hazard, so the province puts out, now it's up to 70 something, different categories.
I can't figure out how they got 11 new ones.
Yeah, well, yeah, a lot more cybersecurity type
Oh,
stuff, a
okay.
lot more infectious disease and that kind of
Okay.
thing got added to it. So each category we go through it, we kind of rank it like probability, likelihood, and if it did happen. How bad it's gonna be basically, and then based on that, we have our top 10. And that top 10 list gets added to our response plan, and we kind of plan around those top 10 things. Generally, it's summer weather, winter weather, that kind of thing, the obvious things, but. We had a tornado last week in Michigan already, so, you know, who knows what's gonna happen, but. That's more to come,
Thank
spring,
you.
summer for that. That's all.
The EP day at Lambton College, you said it worked well to shift over there. Do they still bring in students at all?
They do, yeah,
Yeah.
there's quite a few students from the
Okay.
fire program.
Yeah.
Police foundation.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't do the school.
Not the schools
They don't-
anymore?
they don't
Okay.
bus the
At
kids.
Clearwater, they used to bus
Yeah.
kids in.
They've changed the format quite a bit now to make it more of a family event versus just school kids coming. in,
Okay.
Smash and grab and then leave, because there wasn't a lot of substance to it.
Yeah,
I mean, the kids liked it because they got to go walk around all day and have fun, but they weren't learning nothing. There's
Yeah.
nothing to take away from it.
yeah, no, I get that, but that's good to connect with the programs like the fire.
Yeah. Yeah, we got quite a few new presenters this year that are coming in too, so. It's growing and hopefully the weather holds out for it.
You're good. So partner agency initiatives and activities, so we've attended the planning meeting with the county planner. And we've also had a request from Point SAR to utilize our training room. It doesn't conflict with our training night, so they're gonna utilize our training room to help them out. As far as the facility goes, we did have a contractor in to look at the dehumidification in the basement. He actually took the dehumidifier with him. Originally, I had a quote from the actual manufacturer. Because it's a US based piece of equipment, it had to be sent back to them, and we thought that was a little unrealistic with the costing that they were asking for, so. A local contractor said he would take a look at it and see if he can give us a cost estimate to repair, so still waiting for that. And then the current fitness project that we got on the go, I'll talk about that a little bit more in closing comments. Nothing in the exterior of the building to report at this time. Vehicles and equipment, Rescue 3 still needs its repair, so it was sent for its evaluation. The good news is it's not the head gasket, but it is the upper and lower valve cover gaskets. So we're working with the Cummins, which is the engine manufacturer representative, to see if we can get some cost covered on that vehicle as it's out of warranty. But we feel that because of the low mileage, that the manufacturer should be stepping up a bit, so we're still in conversations with them. All the other vehicles are in working order. Health and safety inspections were completed. Supervisor ones were done, and then the joint health and safety ones were completed with no issues were reported. And we completed the ergonomics training that was set forth by the health and safety coordinator. Security, nothing to report at this time. Capital budget, no capital expenditures at this time from the previous month. Community feedback, we did get some really good positive feedback from the Special Olympics Committee, which was nice to hear. And then upcoming events, so the Bridgeview School cereal box challenge. So we've got some dates nailed down for that. That's going to start March 23rd. Our Special Olympics basketball game that we've committed to, that's going to be April the 2nd. The age friendly event, which is being hosted at the Point Edward Arena in the community hall, is sneaking up pretty quick at May 6th. And then we've committed to the Learn the Fish Day. We're doing Pub Ed on the 30th of May, so they're a little ways out, but they'll be here before you know it.
What do you do for the Learn to Fish Day?
We put our rescue truck down there, and then we set out tools, and we have put a table out with fire prevention materials, and then we do little truck tours. So they bring groups of kids, and they start at specific times, and they start with they'll start with us, and then they'll move to another station, and eventually they'll make it back inside to the hatchery and learn to fish. So it's actually a pretty neat little setup that they have there.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, we've been doing it for years. Works out well for everybody. So in closing comments, so a couple of our members, we attended the OAFC learning session that discussed the NFPA 1850 and the changes that have happened with it. So that's gear cleaning and maintenance requirements for our bunker gear and ensembles. We hosted the Lambton County Fire Chiefs quarterly meeting at our hall. That was on February 11th. Claudio and I attended a couple of Laker boats that we have in our area. We met with the respective chief engineers, took boat tours. We're going to set up additional tours with our members in the near future. Claudia and I attended a leadership seminar that was web-based. It was sponsored by the Sarnia Lambton Economic Group. We've also been speaking to a software development company regarding a fire-based software, and we're having some demo and pricing in the near future for that. We just recently put that on hold because we got the costing for it, and because it's a non-budgeted item, it was a lot more than what we originally anticipated. So we went back to the vendor because we didn't want to waste their time, and kind of lead them down the road that we are interested in it, but at the same time, it's a non-budgeted item, and for us to come back to you for that amount of money is probably not realistic for this budget year. So it'll be something we'll look at next year. So we told him that as we get closer to budget time, we'll do the analysis on it, and then it'll be closer to our next budget year. So
And they can put it on sale?
yeah, maybe you can drop the price a little bit. It would streamline things a bit, so but we'll look at it a little bit closer to the next budget year.
Wait for a Black Friday sale.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
We made some small operational changes with equipment in the department and placement of equipment on trucks. The OFM grant was successful and we've confirmed that the funds have been received. So we'll move forward with ordering the equipment that were outlined in the provincial mandate. And that is with the cancer prevention initiative. Besides the exercise, Claudio kind of updated that we had to go to Plan B. The Blue Water Bridge at this time isn't able to host that particular function, so we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it in the village, hopefully at the casino parking lot. So they're gonna be in discussion with the casino and make sure that that's okay. Again, working with Children's Aid Society on their fire safety planning. They've had a change in their upper management and they want to update their fire safety plan. So we've been talking to them. We had a meeting with them last week. We've given them some tools to work with, and then we're gonna go back and meet with them again here in the near future. So our basement project, we've been working on it, so we got it all cleaned out. We get all the items cleaned out, all the broken items to the metal bucket and the garbage truck. Thank you to all the members that helped out with that. Also, thank you goes out to Corey Conroy from Public Works, who came in on his own time with the loader and helped us get rid of that, all that debris and items. We started to clean up. We did do a test on the one room with some paint. So we're just gonna keep proceeding with that. I do have some costing, that was part of the request from last time for some of the items on the wish list. What it would take to bring it up to speed. So I do have a copy of that here. And I don't know if you want to discuss that now or if we just distribute it.
I think we could probably just look at it, see what
Okay.
we could do with it.
Yeah, fair enough. So it's just costing on the flooring, paint, and a few other items of, fans and that kind of stuff. The polar plunge, that was a success. Thank you to all our members that participated, and thank you to Ariana for braving the cold water and jumping in with the crew. So they raised over $550 for their team for the event, which was good.
It was lots of fun.
The wastewater building training opportunity, which was endorsed by committee and council. So we'll work with Jason over the next while to come up with some acceptable policies and procedures around the use of that building. And then depending on the timeline when it's available, then we'll start using it for training, which is gonna be that's a great thing for us. Thank you to Bev, Jim and Ariana for meeting with our officers. It was well received. Claudio and I have enrolled in an OAFC ice and water rescue awareness online course, so we wanted to try that out. See what the content was before we started asking our members to sign up for it. So that's just underway now. It opened up the first of the month and we have 30 days to complete the course. We're working with MTO to sort out some of our login procedures for the billing purposes for any time we work on the highway. So we're working through that right now. And then we're looking at recruiting. So if you follow our Facebook page, we did put up a recruitment flyer. So we're in the midst of taking resumes right now. And I get that process underway and add a few members, hopefully add a few members to the department. So right now, most of the ones that we have are outside of Glen Everett, so but we'll see what comes in here in the next few days. And then we'll start the interview process for that. And that is it for my report.
Can you tell me what the cereal box challenge is?
Yeah, so the cereal box challenge was 4 schools. And it's in conjunction with the Inn of the Good Shepherd for their breakfast programs.
Mhm.
And what the schools do is they collect cereal boxes and then they put them in the configuration of a domino and they do a
Okay.
fun little thing like that. Well, they decided that they thought challenging the fire department would be a good idea.
Oh.
So So it's 26 of us against 130 of them. So we said we would, and we're gonna try to make a little fun out of it. The new principal is, she's the one between her and one of her EAs that suggested it.
Mhm.
So we said, well, we'll step up and we'll see how we do. They want us to come in for an assembly and they want us to do some fun things around, and at the end, what they'd like to do is they'd like to set up their domino through their hallways, comes out their front door,
Oh,
and
my,
they're gonna video it,
Mhm.
and then when it ends at their front door, it's gonna start at our front door. And then
that is really cool.
we'll do it through our hall.
They usually do it just through the whole school and they usually have enough for that.
Okay.
Which is really cool.
So
but-
where are they getting the cereal?
So families donate the
It's all
cereal.
donated?
And in the past, it's always been done as an internal competition between the color houses. With one
Okay.
team winning. I think that this was a nice direction for them to go in for the students competing against an outside crew for fun.
Okay.
So do you think they have
Buy
enough
cereal and deal.
donations? Like,
No,
like-
they'll be collecting donations until then,
Cause
so.
I'd like to do, I mean, we
No.
could
Yeah,
donate from
to
here.
who?
Yep.
No, you can't
Oh,
donate
that's-
to the school. No, you have to.
Well, hold on a second. We,
Oh.
now we might have some pecuniary interest
That's for
here.
the competition.
Cause you could donate to the school through me.
Oh.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, she's picking sides.
Because it's interesting, cause recently, and I meant to ask you about it, I was thinking about, I don't know if it was a year or two ago, we had the big initiative of buying all that breakfast food.
Mhm.
And I wondered what happened
Oh,
with that program. Is
yeah,
it-
absolutely. So
Yeah.
not long after that, the
Yeah.
Ontario government
Oh,
opened up a program for
Okay.
something similar. So it's not that that wasn't used, because that was
Yeah.
all absolutely used,
I-
and it was
yeah.
used in addition as well, once the funded program started. But there was discussion about that at
Yeah.
our last parent
Okay.
council meeting, because they want to make sure they're using the funds for something very similar. And they
Okay.
were, when they figure it out, they were gonna come back and let us.
I just wanted to make
Give us
sure
an
we-
idea of
we
how
still
this
had
works.
the programs, because I,
Absolutely, and
Okay.
so if, for whatever reason, that
Yeah.
program that the government
but
is.
you know, I remembered the government did step up and give some funding for breakfast.
Mhm.
So that was consistent across the
Yes.
province for everybody to have.
Yeah,
that-
they do have that as a backup, just in case,
Okay.
if something like that.
So all
Changes.
these collected items will go to the end of the Good Shepherd. I guess their breakfast program is in need. Across the community. So there was a few other schools, I guess there's quite a few schools that do it. And the school wanted to go back to the end of the Good Shepherd and say, is it okay if we challenge an outside agency? So they had to work around that. So we actually have a schedule that we're gonna follow, starting the 23rd, and it ends the 17th of April, I believe. That'll be the final kickoff video,
Okay.
stuff like that. So we're gonna try to collect as much as we can. We're gonna put it out on our Facebook and see if we can get some buy-in from the community, similar to our, Santa's Responders type event.
Yeah,
And then, hopefully we can gather up enough cereal and challenge.
You've got some strong competitors,
I know.
so
I know.
you're gonna really want to utilize
Yeah.
that, your community connections.
because I could order from Costco
I
through our card.
Well, yeah, if we can
know
find-
cheating,
Yeah, if we
getting
can
it half and half, huh?
find some corporate spot.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I was a judge last Sunday at the construction.
Oh, yeah.
There was a lot of cereal in that,
Well, yeah, I
but
think
it
we're,
was only 10 entries. But a lot of them had big boxes of cereal.
Mhm.
It's a good base.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's kind of bad timing, but that's a great program as well, but.
Yeah.
it's-
well, I was just thinking how much food I saw.
But by the time all of that is
Yeah.
collected and they brought it in and they've gone through it.
Yeah.
And are able to distribute it, all of that will have been used.
Yeah,
long
because this still stays set up like it's
Mm.
there for the whole week to look at, so they're not even gonna get that food for a bit. Like from the event.
Mhm.
Yeah, so we're hoping to have a little bit of fun with it too.
That sounds fun, like,
Yeah, so we'll do a little assembly and see if we can get the kids revved up a bit. And-
We should do one of those little funny sign wars.
Yeah. That's a
I
good
think
sign wars.
the principal would be on board with that,
Yeah.
likely.
And
A
then
very funny, friendly one.
we were kind of hoping that they had a mascot because we have a mascot.
They do.
like
they do,
Well,
The Bridgeview
we'll talk about,
Badger.
we'll talk about that.
Oh, isn't it the Badger?
Yep.
Yeah.
But I'll just,
Yeah, okay, cause originally when I spoke to her, they didn't have a Badger costume, but they were
Oh.
gonna look for one. Possibly. And then we could have a little Sparky Badger.
Oh, they could duke it out.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, no, not duke.
dance bad.
Yeah, dance
So,
contest.
yeah. So that's a little bit of fun and
Cool, that's a really cool one.
different.
Yeah,
So other than that, that's all I have for today.
Do you have any more questions? I have a few. Don't.
no, I'm good.
Volunteers, ideally, where would we be sitting? Otherwise, in a perfect world,
30 would be nice, 34 would be our top.
Exceptional.
where do we usually sit?
We've been sitting around 30, 31 typically. We've had a few. We had one leave for full-time, well, we've had 3 leave for full-time services in the last 6 months. And then we just had one leave a few weeks ago for different reasons. She's moved out of the village.
Sure.
You know, other
Mhm.
other interests, so yeah, so we're down a few.
And then in terms of recruiting, I know we have that, the post out on social media, on Facebook.
Yep.
Do we do anything else in terms of recruiting?
Well, it's just kind of word of mouth, like we have a couple of our instructors that work at the school and,
Mhm.
you know, the word's out there. I've heard quite a few that the stumbling block is the distance
Mhm.
from our hall. So we have people that have interest, that have qualifications, but live quite a ways away. And the problem with that is taking them as members, they think it's great at first.
Mhm.
Then they don't make the trucks, so they don't get the experience. And then we have to have these hard conversations about why you're not showing up anymore. It's because the novelty kind of wears off after a bit.
Mhm.
The people that are closer to the village, that gain the experience and make the trucks, those are the ones that we tend to keep until they, you know, venture off to another service, like a
Mhm.
full-time service. Ideally, it would be great to get community members that want to do it, but with the changes in the provincial regulations, and we ask a lot of people.
Are we able to share that through Constant Contact?
Sure.
That
Okay.
might target community members that maybe aren't looking at Facebook.
Last round, they did door-to-door flyer, but I think you
But-
decided not to do that anymore.
I mean, every different recruiting technique is going to target a different demographic, so it's not that that's not useful.
Well,
It's
that
kind of-
was every villager.
Sure,
Yeah.
that doesn't mean they're looking at it
No, I'm just
necessarily.
saying, they
Yeah,
did. it
there's a couple of
door-to-door.
young
The guys delivered them.
Yeah.
people in the village that we're targeting as well.
Mhm.
That,
Mhm.
you know, we feel that would, you know, be a good fit.
How do you do that? I know word of mouth,
My
but
son named
what kind of,
Or
Yeah,
around
we
Facebook.
target them. Yeah.
Yeah.
have you had any comments specifically from them about, you know, why they're not jumping for joy that you're trying to recruit them?
It's a lot. We're
Yeah,
asking. a
And
lot.
that's the only thing kind of keeping most people that you've talked to back is the
Well,
commitment.
Because it used to be, we signed up people, they came out and trained, eventually they got to a point where were acceptable to us for responding. That's not the way it is now. We have to provincially test them. There's a lot of work on their own time that has to be done. I mean, they have to be certified now.
Mhm.
So the certification that they're getting is no different than the certification that the full-time guys are doing. So it's a lot, like people are going to school for a year to do this training and sometimes longer. And we're asking them to do a lot of that on their own time. It's just created some barriers.
Absolutely. But no, I don't think we need to talk through it, but would you be able to send me some information on the certification process? Just so that I can read through it and have an idea of what that looks like.
Yeah, we could dig something up. Yeah.
There's some slideshows and.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be any,
Yeah, we could find something to give you that will give you the kind of the Coles Notes version of,
Yeah.
you know, what the certification process looks like.
Thank you. And then, just also thank you to the officers for taking the time out of their days to meet with us as well. We appreciated it, and I felt like the conversation was wonderful. It was a good conversation. All right. We can move on to the fire monthly financial statements for the period ending in February 28th, 2026. Are there any questions?
No, sorry, I just thought
Go
I
ahead.
missed something on the last round.
No problem.
There is the battle under the bridge at the arena,
Mhm.
that one.
I did hear something.
I think
briefly
it's
about it.
the 28th. Just for your awareness, because there'll be a lot of, it's all out of town teams.
Yeah.
And it's all U7.
Oh, the jam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Battle Under the Bridge Jamboree. But it's just U7s, but there'd be a lot of people in town throughout the day, and if there was any calls or anything at the arena, just so. I think it's the 28th, but. I can send it, I forget.
That's the 28th, it's a Saturday.
Then that's
Yeah.
that's it. Cause it's sort of right at the end, we're winding up the hockey season. Cause then the next weekend's the ice show, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, sorry, I just.
No, that's
I
okay.
had to say that.
No, not a problem. Did you have any questions about the financial report?
No,
Were there any other additional questions or comments? Okay, in that case, our next meeting for the fire committee will be held April 14th, 2026 at 8:45 a.m. And we can adjourn
what was that date?
April 14th.
This one's not.